Welcome back to the Tomahawk podcast. I'm Danny.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Kenan.
Today we're going to be talking about training camp, preseason week 1, and AFC playoff prediction and season predictions.
Okay, alrighty. We'll start with off with training camp. Danny, got any questions or thoughts?
I've seen that a lot in training camp that everyone's saying that Juan Thornhill has been looking really good. How do you think? Do you think he'll be a starter week 1, and how do you think he'll play in the season?
I didn't get to go to training camp this year. I usually do, but I've actually seen like a couple. I've been watching videos on it. I've seen he's actually been doing good. We kind of need his position. I'd say there's a need for it. Obviously, we have what's his face? Can't think of his name.
Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah, Tyrann Mathieu. Thank you. I forgot his name, but we need a second safety, and I think he'll fit in as our number 2 for
I think he's
playing
he's going to start free safety.
Free safety, and then
Tyrann's
Tyrann's going to be strong safety. Yeah.
And all accounts look to him starting.
Yeah.
Unless something happens or somebody else shows
Yeah.
out.
I actually like him in there. He's kind of showing out training camp. He's actually looked pretty good. Kenan, any thoughts?
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I think that Tyrann Mathieu is going to be good, and Juan Thornhill. I don't know. I didn't watch anything about training camp.
Alrighty. Any other questions, Danny?
Recently Andy Reid has said they're going to start week 1 with a running back by committee with Damian Williams and Carlos Hyde. How do you guys feel like that is going to do? And do you think they'll keep it that the whole season?
Yeah, I think that'll work really well because that's what the Patriots and Eagles and the Seahawks did last year, and it worked out really well for them.
Yeah, I don't think there's a clear number 1 yet. Damian Williams played pretty well at the end of the season, I'd say. He kind of put himself out there probably as the number 1, but I actually like the running back by committee. I think it works a lot better. It makes guys earn their spot, and I do like Carlos Hyde. I'm a Carlos Hyde fan. I think he should and could win the starting spot over Williams, but it should be a good battle between them.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me what the Bears had, but because Carlos Hyde is more of a heavy back and goal line back, because Damian Williams kind of struggled in the goal line unless it was really good blocking last year. So I kind of understand. I think that's where he will be subbed in, kind of as a third down back.
Yeah.
And kind of convert those short down.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah. Any other questions or?
No, not really.
We can move on. So that's Chiefs training camp. So we're gonna move on to the Week 1 preseason matchup against the Bengals. We got injuries on the Bengals, both questionable. John Ross and Rodney Anderson, and then on the Chiefs side, 3 questionables and Alex Okafor, Dieter, the white wide receiver. I can't pronounce his first name. Damian Williams is also questionable because that could also affect maybe who will start week 1. I'd say Kyler Bourne is suspended and Keith Reiser is.
We got Morris Claiborne today.
Yeah, and he got suspended for 2 games.
Yeah,
2 games. Yeah, week 1 and 2. So.
I mean, it's good to get a veteran presence because we really didn't have anybody. Like, Tyrann was, the oldest player on defense, and he's, 28 or 29. So.
I like that. But
I kind of think he's underrated.
Yeah. But, week 1 matchup, how long is Mahomes going to be in, and how long we'll bring in the backups, because we don't really have anybody we need to develop quarterback-wise off the bench. There's not too many people we need to develop, I think, off the bench across the board, probably. I think most of our young guys who we want are on defense, and they're starters because we don't have that defensive depth.
Well, I think the biggest thing will be the D-line, because there's a lot of questionables, because we ran a 3-4 last year, and a lot of the outside linebackers are switching to D-end, and if they'll start over certain people, and will Chris Jones play D-tackle again, or will he switch back to his drafted position at outside, or at, Russian. I feel like we actually have some good interior defensive linemen. So I think it could bounce Jones outside.
This year, I think he could play. I think he'll probably swap time between end and tackle. But we'll just have to wait to see. Depends on what Reed does and what's his face, the new defensive coordinator.
Spagnola.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah. It depends what he wants to do, and we'll see what he's about. Maybe this first game, or he might be holding it back for week 1. He just want to show all his cards. Kenan, any thoughts on week 1?
Not really. Just like what they're gonna do with the new players that they got, because they brought in a bunch of new people. Because they got rid of Justin Houston and Eric Berry and D Ford, and then maybe they'll play Frank Clark a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably not too much though, in case he gets injured.
Yeah.
I really like Alex Okafor too. I think that was a move that not many people realized we made.
Yeah.
But I really like how he played with the Saints last year.
Yeah, he did play very well.
With upside, Cameron Jordan helped the Saints get a lot of pressure when the secondary was kind of struggling outside of Marshall and Lattimore.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a ton this first preseason game. Usually coaches like to hold back. It's more of almost a dry run at it. Just getting players back into the groove of game situations and full hitting and pads and stuff like that. So it should be a test. See how our offense flows this year with a couple missing pieces from last year. And big one, Kareem Hunt. And then, I don't know if it's going to be we're trying to win this game. I doubt it. We're just going out there to hit some people, get it back in the groove, take a hit, just getting back to game situations.
Yeah, and if you looked at it like over the games that Carlos Hyde played, him and Kareem Hunt's numbers are similar. PPF just released something, and I saw it earlier, and like the yards per game, like carries per game, and even yards per carry were like almost exactly the same. So it shows.
I just read something. Kansas City Star and Reed said Patrick Mahomes and each of the quarterback will play one quarter against the Bengals. So I don't know if they're going to start with Mahomes. We'll probably start with Mahomes and then end it with we'll probably go down the line. So I mean, there's obviously not too much there's not really a quarterback controversy period or battle or anything. It's pretty set. But yeah. So I think that's a good little breakdown of that week 1 preseason. Probably not much happening, just seeing the field again and playing it out. So.
And then now I have the predictions for the rest of the AFC and where everyone's going to finish in the division. Starting with the AFC East. Obviously,
I think
the Patriots are
pretty clear cut.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. They're probably going to be worse, especially since Tom Brady didn't look very good, and he's probably going to keep getting worse. But Bill Belichick is probably still the best coach in the league. So I'd say they'll probably win their division.
Oh, yeah. And then
that's not really our division.
I'd say, and then Miami will most likely be last.
They'll be the seller. Yeah.
And then the Bills and Jets, I think, will both be better. I'm not sure.
I think
which one.
Jets will probably finish.
Because they added Le'Veon Bell, C.J. Mosley.
I do. I like both teams.
Their defense is really good.
I like the Jets' defense.
And your wide receiver core is nothing outside of Zay Jones.
And that's not even.
And I think
great.
that
Josh Allen, I think
he was good in that quarterback draft, but I think that they don't really haven't given weapons to utilize, and they are starting Shady McCoy.
Yeah, so
he's 30 something. So it'll be good.
I still think Jets will probably go and they'll probably take the second. I have them taking the second spot. I think the Jets are a good team, and so are the Bills, but I'm not sure. The defenses, I think, are pretty even. The Bills
Dolphins are still winning one game against the Patriots.
hopefully, the Dolphins win a game against the Patriots.
If that happens, we could get the 1 seed. They could get the 2. Probably a year now until Brady retires.
Yeah. Okay.
Up to the AFC.
Now we're gonna move on to AFC North. I have Baltimore taking the division.
Yeah,
so probably many think Cleveland.
I just think that they're like really hyped up, and if something starts happening bad, they're gonna crumble.
Yeah.
But I also think that them and the Steelers could go 10-7 or not 10-7, 9-7 or 8-8, and they're gonna be within a game, and one team's gonna make wild card and one's not, and the Bengals are just.
I think the Steelers will crumble this year. I think they're going to be with the Bengals, about even with the Bengals. I
just think that the Steelers with like a lot less pressure and a lot less like drama around their
I get
name.
what you're saying.
I think that this is like their year. They're gonna do pretty good this year.
I just don't think they're that great. I've never been a believer in the Steelers ever. I always think they're choking and just they're just chokers in my opinion. So I think I got Baltimore first, Cleveland second, close second. I don't think Baker Mayfield's that good. I think he had an overrated rookie year. He didn't play very many good teams. He kind of beat up on the bad teams, but yeah. So I got Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and then Cincinnati. Kenan, thoughts on that?
Well, I don't think that the Steelers are gonna be like amazing, but I don't think they're gonna be bad either, because they still have Ben Roethlisberger, who's a Hall of Fame quarterback. They got Juju, who's a really good wide receiver, and James Conner isn't as good as Le'Veon Bell, but he still did really well last year. So, and the defense has what's the new rookie's name? The linebacker, Devin Bush. Yeah. So their defense should get better.
Mm-hmm.
And the Browns, I'd say, like. Probably a wild card team, maybe.
I think they'll make the wild card.
Yeah, I think the Steelers and the Browns are both teams that will probably go 8-8 or 9-7, and it'll be like
9-7,
whatever their last matchup will be like who wins it for second place in that division.
Yeah, because they've got so much like talented players, and they have really amazing players, but the new head coach isn't like a proven guy, and he could be really good or awful or just average, and then
a lot of wild cards.
It just depends on what he does with all of his star players.
Yeah, a lot of new stuff on the Browns that might not click together. I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Ravens, I don't think they'll do as good as they did last year, because they still have a good defense, but they lost Terrell Suggs, Eric Weddle, C.J. Mosley, and they added Earl Thomas, but that's it.
I honestly think the Ravens defense improved
it's
because
scheme fit defense.
Yeah, because
players.
Yeah,
that's true.
Because they got rid of Weddle, and he's like kind of old, but they also got Earl Thomas to replace him when he's a lot younger, and I think that's an upgrade. And Suggs was getting old, and they still have Judon, and that rookie they drafted who I really like.
Yeah.
Can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And the Ravens have have all the three cornerbacks are like top end. They're all like above average, and two are elite. So I still think the defense is going to be.
Yeah, I just
top
think
five.
C.J. Mosley is just that's a huge loss. He's a
top
5 middle linebacker in my opinion,
but
in the league.
The big thing will probably be the offense, because like Lamar Jackson only lost one game when he was starting last year, but now everyone knows what to expect, and he doesn't really have a great arm, so I don't think he'll do as good as he did last year.
Yeah.
He's basically how good the Ravens can be, because if he comes out and actually throws really good, and then makes it so teams can't just spy him, he doesn't even have to throw for that much, just like 200 yards a game. Or something like that, and their defense is going to be really good, like always, and they could easily win 14.
Okay. We'll move on to the AFC South. I think this is probably the most interesting division, because I could see everything going 8-8, and it'd all be a tie. I could see that. Tell me you couldn't see that.
Really?
Who's the worst team in that division?
The Jags.
Are they?
The Titans.
Yeah.
Are they? No.
The Jags have a really good defense, though, and they
got Nick Foles. They have a actual quarterback.
Yeah,
who cares?
Wasn't retired? Like they don't have good linebackers.
Who cares? They went from Blake Bortles to Nick Foles. That's like
BDN.
that's like an extra 3 wins because
Yeah.
Bortles is that bad.
I mean, if Fournette doesn't have like
Fournette
punching you
will
on the
be
football
back.
field,
Yeah.
then it'll be good.
I think every team could go 8-8 in that
I think
division.
the Colts are gonna win it.
I think every team could tie. Yeah, I do think
I
the
do
Colts
think,
are my
yeah.
favorite.
The Colts
Yeah.
probably has the best chance
The
to win
max,
it.
the
Just
max a
because-
team could go though in this division is 10-6. Nobody's
I
getting
can see
more
the
than
Colts
10
winning
wins.
11 games. It depends how
But
they
like
do
in the
their
division, the division is
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be, it's gonna be so
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be. I could see every
I think it's gonna
matchup
be
being
Colts,
1-1.
Texans,
Yeah.
and probably Jags and Titans.
Yeah, that's
But-
how I see it.
But every
Yeah.
year people think, oh, the
You never know.
Titans are going 4-12, and then they
You
go
never
8-8 and make playoffs barely. So
You never know.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
could be flipped. It could be the Titans, the Jags.
yeah, I just
The
think
Texans,
the
Colts.
are the
I do
most
think
set
the
out
Colts.
because they have a really good young defense that's really underrated,
Mhm.
and Malik Hooker is going to be back, and I think he's
Yep.
a really good asset. And I like Eric Ebron. Plus, they're going to have Jack Doyle back fully
Yeah.
healthy, and they're both pretty good run blocking tight ends as well.
Yeah.
And they're going to be able to run the ball on you with their defense playing good, or they're going to throw it downfield with Andrew Luck. So
Yeah, definitely.
Just like an option.
It's a very
So,
very interesting.
Really, anyone could win that division. And then for the playoffs, I think the Chiefs will be a number 1 seed again. And then
This is for the AFC West.
yeah, I'm fairly sure that they're gonna win their division. Most likely
the
will be a number
Chargers.
1 seed. Yeah, and the Chargers will probably be a wild card again.
they'll
Then
probably go 10-6 or
yeah,
And we'll probably go 11 or 12.
and then 2 seed will probably be the Patriots. I'd say, since they have such an easy division.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3, my guess would be the Colts, because Andrew Luck is looking really good. Darius Leonard will probably get better next year. They just have a really good team, especially their new
They're all
offensive
young.
linemen.
Okay.
And then 4 seed, I could see either Cleveland or the Steelers.
Okay.
Let's
And
see where
then
they go.
The last wild card, I think, would either be either the Browns or the Steelers, whoever doesn't win that division, or just anyone in the AFC South.
I got my first seed will be the Chiefs. I do have the Chiefs winning the AFC, and then probably followed by the Patriots because of such weak division.
Yeah, they're gonna go 5-1 with
And
a drop
then
to the Dolphins.
The 3 will be probably. I have Baltimore as my 3. I think Baltimore is my dark horse kind of this year, but they're not too much of a dark horse. But I think they're going to
Yeah,
overachieve more than people think. And then probably this is where it gets harder. So the rest of the playoff teams, I think Cleveland, Indy, the Chargers.
You're at 5.
Yeah, I know. And then probably Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I
Yeah, for
think-
mine.
That the Chargers are they're the most likely to get that first wild card spot. Really, they have a really good team. The only way I could see them being bad is if Phillip Rivers takes a huge step back.
I could see that happening. Now let's check out their schedule. Colts week 1, that should be tough. The Lions, that should be an easy win. Texans, that'll be okay. Dolphins, Denver, Steelers, Titans, Bears, that should be a hard one. Packers should
They
be.
have like 4 or 5
eh.
hard games at the beginning of the
Yeah.
schedule, but then it doesn't
it
get.
kinda-
Then it like eases up.
Yeah,
So
and then
I think they should be good in the. Like,
They should
second half
have.
of the
Yeah,
season.
they should have a decent season, yes.
Yeah.
So, you got your playoff teams, Danny? You can throw
Yeah,
yours out there.
Yeah, Chiefs 1, Patriots 2, and then I'm gonna say Colts 3, Ravens 4, and then I'm gonna put Houston 5, and then the Chargers 6.
Yeah.
But Houston's like iffy for me because if Will Fuller gets injured again or they lose Kiki, like they're outside of Hopkins, their wide receivers always get hurt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see their defense without Tyrann,
Yeah.
but I like Kareem Jackson and I can't think of their other corner, but
Yeah.
And if Clowney and Watt stay healthy together, then
Mhm.
they should be able to repeat playoffs.
Definitely. Okay, we can move on to the NFC. We'll start off with the NFC East. Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, and Redskins. I got Philly winning this division. I think Carson Wentz will have a bounce back year. I don't think he'll repeat his MVP year, but I think he will be good enough to get them to win that division.
30 touchdowns.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
think.
30 and like
And Dallas.
Yeah, the Eagles will probably be first, then Dallas. Well,
and then
12. Yeah.
and then probably
It depends if they're
York.
gonna start Haskins this year.
yeah.
'Cause, like,
Well, the Redskins will
NFL
probably beat the Giants either
Yeah,
way.
I don't know. Saquon's pretty good.
That's true.
Yeah.
He'll probably win
Rookie of
them
the
a couple
year.
games.
I got the rookie of the year too. If he plays.
Okay, so everybody agree on that. Philly,
Mhm.
Dallas, and then New York or Washington, depends. And then the NFC North, I have Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, then Detroit. I think that's pretty clear cut. Maybe Green
Yeah.
Bay or Minnesota would be the only teams I could see you swapping. I think the Bears will win that division, and I think
Yeah.
Detroit
I mean,
will be at the end.
the Lions. I mean, they
They're-
could go like 8-8, and
they
then
will not
end up being like.
They're not
third,
going
but
8-8. They're not going 8-8.
Every time we say that.
No,
but
no,
I don't think
they don't.
will.
They don't. They're not going 8-8. I just know it.
Uh,
I've seen too many of their games to know that they're not going 8-8.
I don't think that the Bears are going to win the division because they were so good last year, especially because of their defense, and Vic Fangio's gone now. So I can see the Vikings winning it.
I'm just gonna say Kirk Cousins, and we'll move on. So now the NFC South, we got Atlanta, Carolina, New Orleans, and Tampa Bay. I got the Saints taking the division. This is also a pretty tough division,
Yeah,
pretty good division. So I got.
honestly, the Falcons could bounce back and do really good.
I don't think anyone's passing the Saints. I think the Saints
Yeah,
are
I
clear
think
cut.
I think it'll be Saints, then
Saints,
Falcons,
Falcons,
then Panthers, and
Bucks. Yeah.
Because last year everybody could say what they want about the Saints, or about the Falcons, but they lost Keanu Neal and Deion Jones.
Definitely.
Deion
A lot of
Jones
injuries.
is one of the best zone coverage linebackers in the game and makes a big difference. And Keanu Neal is just a big force to their defense.
Yeah, there's a lot of injuries
Yeah.
on the
True
Falcons.
Font missed
Period.
some games last
yeah.
year too, and I
was
like
a tough
how
year.
KZ and the other safety came in, so maybe
Yeah.
one of them will move to nickel corner and
Yeah.
just make the defense a lot better.
Definitely.
I don't think the Saints are going to be good this year. I'd say the Panthers will probably win the division because
Big Cam here.
this is the second.
Big Cam guy.
Well, this is the second year in a row the Saints have lost because of like something crazy that happened because they had the Minnesota Miracle, and then they had the blown call,
Okay.
and like everyone's focused on it now.
Here's some logic.
So
And
that'll
all the
just
Saints
be
fans are gonna
a
be like, "This is our
distraction.
year."
Okay.
So I don't really see them being nearly as
Distractions.
good.
Okay. I like that.
And at the end of last year, like Drew Brees was like amazing through most of the year,
Mm-hmm.
but during the playoffs he didn't really play that well. And then
I don't
Atlanta.
remember that part of the playoffs.
I remember in the overtime when
he threw a really bad interception
Yeah,
in
you're right.
overtime.
You're right.
But I feel like it'll be Carolina, Atlanta, New Orleans, and then Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay probably won't do that good this year.
Okay, we'll move on to the NFC West. I think this one's pretty. The Rams are gonna win
The Rams.
division. That's not even close.
But
Nobody's come
If
close.
Gurley plays, the Rams
I don't
win.
care. I don't care if Gurley plays or
Well-
not. They're not. The defense is too good to not win that division.
That's
Their
true.
defense is not that good as people think, to be honest.
They do
They're
have the
top
best
three.
player in the NFL.
The best. They do have the best player in the NFL.
But the Rams will win the division, but they could have a wild card team.
Yeah.
I could see.
No, they'll
I don't know
definitely.
about
They'll
that
win. They'll win. They'll be a 1 or 2 seed. I think it'll be Saints.
The number
Rams.
2
Maybe
place in the
Bears.
NFC East is
It's
kind
gonna
of
be-
a controversy.
It'll be It'll be the Bears, the Saints, and then obviously not for you. You don't think that.
Yeah.
But we think probably Saints, Bears, Rams. Those are going to be the three
Bears'
teams.
defense is just
it's
too
nasty.
good for and they didn't lose anybody.
Disgusting.
And
we lost Callahan. That was basically it. Which is a big loss. He was a really good nickel.
Yeah, but
he was very good.
I don't think it's that big.
Yeah.
So.
And then Rams, and then Niners and Seattle. I think depends on Garoppolo. Depends on what they're going to do with that offense.
With the defense too, because they got Quan from the Bucs, which I really like that move because they needed linebackers.
Yeah.
And if Bosa, I heard like something about his foot. If he's ready for Week 1, and see how they play together, because that new line could be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Eagles will be in number 1 seed. Dallas will be the first wild card team, probably. Then the Rams, I think, would be number 2 seed again. I would put them at number 1, but Todd Gurley probably won't play as much because of his knee. But they still have such a good team that they'll for sure make the playoffs again. Then I don't know about 3 and 4. I'd say Carolina 3 and then Minnesota 4. Because the Bears' defense is really, really good, but coaching is so important. I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year.
We have a top 3 coach in the league. What do you mean?
You won Coach of the Year
top
last year.
3, top 2, top 1.
You won Coach of the Year last year.
Trubisky, but
6,000 yards.
You're waiting for the 6,060-yard touchdown year. You just wait.
With a run-heavy scheme.
Nah, we're going deep threat this year. Okay, so I got first seed. I got Chicago. Second seed, probably New Orleans Saints. 3 seed, Rams. 4 seed, Philly. First wild card, Dallas probably, and then the second wild card I think is a toss-up between Atlanta and the Niners if the Niners play good. But I still think Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta's my second.
Same thing for the 6th seed.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be the Saints, the Rams, the Bears, then the Eagles, and then the 2 wild card spots will be the Niners and probably the Falcons.
Okay, alrighty. So that'll do it. We'll see you after week 1 of the preseason. We'll discuss that and figure out what we want to do week 2 of preseason. We'll reflect. We'll talk about week 2. And okay, thanks for watching.